A very special Here Comes the Boom at Jasper Johnson's commitment ceremony. Moments ago, Jasper committed to Kentucky over Alabama and UNC, with Louisville and Arkansas kind of in the mix, I guess. We've basically talked about Jasper Johnson for the last 5 episodes. So this is a huge recruiting win for Kentucky. Now they have 2 commits in the 2025 class, Malachi Moreno, Jasper Johnson. I've kind of talked a little bit about how this recruitment went down, but just to give a little more context, Alabama really was the favorite for a good period of time in this recruitment, and Mark Pope had a lot of ground to make up. But about 2 to 3 weeks ago, someone just fell. Well, this is what happens when we do it here. Alabama was in a good position, but I was getting texts from people very close to the Alabama program that were saying Kentucky's offering more in NIL, Kentucky's in a better spot, and I think the momentum was really starting to turn at that point. That was, I think, mid-August. These last few weeks have felt like a blur. And so by that point, Kentucky had really made up momentum, and now Jasper Johnson is a Kentucky Wildcat. But let's get into talking about where does Kentucky go from here. They got Malachi, they got Jasper. We're going to talk to Joe Tipton later on the show about where Kentucky's class stands and who they could be going for next. But just some immediate news is Chris Sinak, a power forward from Link Academy. He's visiting Kentucky at the end of September for an official visit. That's the same time that Michael Brown Jr. is going to be on campus. So I was talking to people close to Michael's recruitment. They say that official visit is still on. They still anticipate for those 2 guys to visit together. But the staff is meeting with Michael. I guess they met with him on Thursday morning. So we'll probably get some more clarity there soon. Mika Murinen, he's a guy we talked about on the last few shows. He set that official visit to Kentucky for September 13th through 15th, but that got moved because I think the staff really wants to focus on Caleb Wilson that weekend. He's visiting, 5-star forward out of Georgia. And Eric Reeby was also supposed to visit that weekend. Kentucky is out on him. The schools kind of trending with him are Kansas, Creighton, maybe Oregon. Once Malachi committed, Kentucky didn't need another 7-foot center in this class, so talks kind of faded with Eric Reeby. That's really the main gist of where things stand. Nate Ament talked about him. He canceled his Kentucky visit. That's probably going to be moved way down the line. He's moving all his visits. It's just more of a timeline thing than anything, so he'll probably make a decision early next year. That's one that's being pushed back. That's really where things stand. We got an official visit graphic, which we'll have up on the screen at some point. And you can see exactly where things stand official visit-wise. And we're also going to be providing live updates on KSR Plus. We've got our homegrown discount. Use the promo code HOMEGROWN for 50% off an annual sub. That offer is expiring soon, so be sure to take advantage. That's really all I have to talk about, but let's bring on Joe Tipton from On3 to get his thoughts on where Kentucky goes next from here. Welcome back to Here Comes the Boom. We just had a fun day at Jasper's commitment ceremony. Now we're joined by On3 national basketball analyst Joe Tipton to talk about what it means. Joe, thank you for joining me today.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, this is a massive pickup for Kentucky. Not only a Lexington kid, a legacy recruit, but Mark Pope's first 5-star that he's landed in his career, but also as the head coach at the University of Kentucky. This recruitment was very interesting to track. If you would have asked me maybe a month or 2 ago where Kentucky led, I would have placed them firmly in 3rd place behind Alabama and North Carolina. They had really made him a long-time priority of their program. And I've said it before, but Mark Pope and his staff were kind of behind the 8 ball, getting to Lexington, in April and having to pick up from there. So other programs kind of had a head start building a relationship with Jasper. But towards the end of this recruitment, they were able to make up a lot of ground very quickly and emerged as the favorite and land his commitment today. So this is just a massive pickup for UK fans.
Well, Joe, with Jasper's commitment, Kentucky now has its first 2 commits in the 2025 class, 2 in-state kids with Jasper Johnson and Malachi Moreno. What do you think this commitment means for Kentucky's overall recruiting efforts in this 2025 class?
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Mark Pope said in his introductory press conference that he wants the Kentucky players to stay home. Well, you just got 2 of the best, or in the 2 best players in the state already committed to your program in year 1. So I think that's a positive sign. And now I think he'll go out and try to recruit some national talent. He'll recruit, still local to Kentucky, but then also try to get some more players to join this 2025 class.
Well, you talk about that national talent. I got a few guys I want to ask you about. Starting with Tunde Yesufu. He's a guy that Kentucky's been after basically since Mark Pope was hired as head coach, and now he's set to visit for Big Blue Madness in October. What are your thoughts on his overall recruitment, and where do you think Kentucky stands?
Yeah, absolutely. Kentucky's made him a priority, like you said. I think Tunde is a big fan of Kentucky. He did visit Baylor over the weekend, and I currently have them as the leader in this recruitment. He's also moved up his visit to Arizona State. He's going to see them. They're moving up the ladder quickly as well. So I think Kentucky definitely needs to pick up steam here, just so they don't lose too much ground, but I think they will be able to do that. With now Jasper off the board, I think he becomes one of your top 2 priorities in this class moving forward.
Well, we talked to Tunde over at KSR Plus. You can find that story over there. He wants Big Blue Nation to come and show out for him, so I hope you're all there. Another guy that just set his official visit, Chris Sanak, another 5-star. He'll be at Kentucky at the end of this month. Where do you think things stands with him? I know he's got that LSU official visit set up. He just took that visit to Houston. So what are your thoughts on his recruitment?
Yeah, I think Kentucky is in a good spot here. Definitely not calling them the leader. There is a ways to go in this recruitment. Last I spoke to Sinakis, he's eyeing a February or March decision, so he does have some time. But yes, Kentucky will get him on an official later this month, along with Auburn and Tennessee and LSU, the in-state program. He's originally from New Orleans. They were on him. Them and Houston have been on him the longest by far. So it'll really just come down to, where Sanak feels is best. I'm also told Arkansas is another school that will get him on an official visit in the month of October as well. So it'll be interesting to see where this recruitment goes. But I think Kentucky's done some good things here.
Last guy I want to ask you about, Braylon Mullins. Kentucky's been after him. He's an AAU teammate of Malachi Moreno. Just had a whole bunch of in-home visits. So who do you think are the big contenders for him?
Yep, Pope was in to see him yesterday. I still expect the staff to continue to prioritize him, even with the addition of Jasper Johnson, just because they can bring you different things. They're both shooters, but they could also play together as well. I think Kentucky's in the thick of it with Braylon Mullins also. I think it's mainly a battle between UK and UConn. A lot of people say the in-state Hoosiers are in it as well. I kind of would put them in 3rd place right now. But he has a few other visits to take before he makes a decision. But I do like where Kentucky's standing with him as well.
Well, Joe, thank you again for joining us. It's always great having you on. I need you guys to go follow Joe on Twitter at Tipton Edits. He's almost at 100,000 followers. I want him to get to 100,000. And I need you guys always to go and subscribe to KSR Plus. We've got our hometown discount, 50% off annual memberships. Be sure to go and subscribe. This has been a super fun show. Thank you all for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.